Hi everybody, Tim Barch here, McArthur Ford in Salina, Kansas, March 1st, 2022. So we are, as in the car business will say, new month, back to zero. And so here we are. So I just welcome everybody into the live stream. Of course, I do have some things just to kind of note that I say about every week, but I just want to make sure everybody, somebody that's new, knows what's going on. So you can see several things on the screen right now. Try to make that to where you can see a little bit of me, but also some other information. So you see tonight's topic there. Hopefully you did see that in the title. How to make sure your dealer honors your price protection. We're going to be talking about that in 29 minutes, and here in about 29 minutes. And then also, if you want to let me know, have any questions whatsoever when it comes to information about different products that you just need, questions answered, that's what that Ford Video Guy is for. Any of those questions, fordvideoguy@gmail.com, I should say. And then if you want to get a vehicle from McArthur or something like that, then that's the sales related questions that you would email to timothybarts@gmail. And the reason I differentiate those is because I'm not able to always check my Ford Video Guy at Gmail. It's mainly just for questions. If you're not in a hurry, it's not in a rush, that kind of thing. But if you're needing some immediate attention, the timothybarts@gmail is what I check on a daily basis. Also, something else to just remind yourself too, if you're new to this, to the channel and new to the videos, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below so you can get subscribed to our channel. Hit the notification bell. That way you can get notified next time we have another video uploaded to the channel. Forgot to throw the graphic up there. So there you go. So hit that notification bell. That way you can get notified when we have another live stream that goes, when we have other videos that go live and such. And we'll talk about some of the videos we have going live later. As well as don't forget, shout out to all the members. If you're a member here, don't forget you can become a member. Hit that join button down below, and you can get a little more information about that. I have a link in the description. If you're having a hard time finding where that's at, you can click the link in the description as well and learn more about that. Also, in the description is a link to the podcast recording, somewhere you can find those on our website. So we are going to be recording this as a podcast, and that'll be going out. So that way, if you want to listen to us later in an audio format, you can see that. Here's a little graphic of where you can find it on our website if you need to go there. If you don't have a favorite podcast channel, you can go to McArthur.com/Ford Video Guy, and you can get to that same stream right through there by going to our website. So just keep that in mind if you want to find that. Also, don't forget, if you have kind of some of the other videos that we have going on recently we had, and these videos are linked in the description. I'm really good about putting links down there, and in my descriptions I always like to make things a little bit easier for my viewers to be able to see things and find things. So you'll find a link to our most recent videos within the last week. We did one on the 22 Ford Maverick, the flex bed. So we did a video on that. You can find that down in the description, as well as we did one. We did a video specifically on the Ford's memo to the dealers. And we covered all this last week's live stream, but some people don't want to have to fill through the hour and a half that we go live and answering questions to find that information. One of the reasons I have the timestamps for when this part of the video in 26 minutes here, it's going to be, we're going to talk about that, is so people can just jump right to there and find that information out. But I think I'm going to start recording and cutting out just the topic for the night, and be able to put that out as a separate video when it's very important. So we might do that tonight as well. As we can tell, it's a pretty important topic to make sure your price is being honored, as well as rates and different things like that we'll talk about here in just a little bit. So be looking for that possibly, as well as we do have the 22 Ford F-150 Lariat Complete Guide videos. This is what the videos that I'm the most comfortable with, where we talk about all the standard equipment as well as different equipment groups, the different packages, standalone options. I will tell you it's about an hour and a half long video, but we cover everything on the Lariat trim for the F-150. So we cover all the equipment that you would get. I don't actually go XL and then XLT and Lariat, because I don't want people to have to watch all those. If they're just interested in Lariat trim, they can find out all the standard equipment, even what's included in XL and XLT in that video. So I hope you guys enjoy that. And it does take a little while to record that and a little while to edit it, but we do have that done, and it should go live possibly tomorrow. So We have the video uploaded and produced. I just want to kind of take it one more look through for it before it goes live, and then we'll have that video go live this week. So, and then also don't forget Thursday night we're going to be going live on Facebook. So if you are on Facebook, you want to join us, come on over. It's pretty much just a Q&A session. It's 1 hour Q&A session. And last week I think we went over the hour just a little bit, but no topics really to talk about, no new news. Typically we just jump right in and just start answering questions for that hour. So feel free to join us. If we didn't get your question answered here and you're on Facebook, go over there. And again, we don't usually, if there's anything over there we cover that we kind of bring up that maybe I haven't talked in the Tuesday night live stream, I always make sure that I bring that back to the next week and talk to you guys. So even if you're not on there, you don't have to worry. You're not going to miss anything. Let's go ahead and before we get started, I want to talk about one really cool vendor that we use, and I'm not going to do this too often, but Dealer Teamwork is a company that we actually partner with here at McArthur. We partner with a lot of different places. We're on AutoTrader, Cars.com, and such, but Dealer Teamwork is a vendor that we have a real close partnership with, and they do a great and extreme job for us. They're the ones that help create our Google ads and some different offers on our page, and I just want to give them a big shout out because they have they're one of the big partners that we have that have done a great job, especially during COVID, to help us out, and just want to give them some kudos and a shout out because they do an extreme job. And if you're a dealer out there and you're watching this video in the live stream, you might want to check them out because they do a great job, and they partner with Ford right now. They're one of Ford's partners for their SEM stuff. So anyway, I'm moving on. I was told that when on any kind of scheduling notes that it's proprietary information, but I just think it's valuable information. So Ford, if you don't want me talking about it in future weeks, let me know. Just send me an email. You got my email address there. I'm willing to work with Ford, but right now I kind of want to share this, even though they're saying maybe we shouldn't share it, but just because I think it's important information that everybody has out there. So I'm going to go ahead and go over the scheduling information. So what is being scheduled this week, or what is going to be scheduling, I should say, for this week. Possibly a lot of it's going to be cleanup. This is the last week going into March. So even though it is beginning of March, this Thursday, that is not March production information. So this is still carryover from February. So we do have the Mustang is being scheduled. The Bronco Sport, they said retail only, so no stock scheduling. Bronco, and we still have all of our Broncos that need to get scheduled this week, so we should get 6 Broncos scheduled this week. EcoSport, Escape, the gas, retail gas only, which means no stock. Here, you know what? I'm gonna pull up ours just so we can go through, especially if you have any kind of orders with us, we can kind of go through of what we have that could be scheduling this week or should schedule because of what we have left of allocations. Real quickly. Up, there we go. All right. So kind of ones we already talked about, the Mustang. We do have 1 Mustang allocation that could get scheduled this week. Bronco Sport, we've used all of our allocations. Bronco, again, I mentioned 6 should get scheduled this week. EcoSport, 0. Escape, retail gas only. We have 12 that need scheduled. So if you have an Escape on order with us, this week could be a good week for you. Edge, retail only. We have 2 Edges that need to be scheduled this week. Explorer, they did say no plugins going to get scheduled this week, as well as no technology package vehicles will get scheduled this week. But Explorer, we do have 1 allocation that we have available, so might get scheduled. The Maverick is going to be cleanup week. We don't have any allocations left of that one. All 30 were used the first week. Transit Connect, Van and Wagon, don't have any of those, as well as Transits. We don't have any allocations. Don't know why. We have several on order. Be nice. And then looking on the Lincoln side, we have Aviator, retail gas only, Nautilus, retail gas only, and also they're not going to schedule any with the multi-contoured seats, and then the Corsair, retail gas only. So there's been several of those models that the production has been pushed back. In fact, my Expedition keeps getting pushed back. I'm scheduled for the 12th of March now, so it's been moved back another week. In fact, to the very end of that next week. So I wouldn't be surprised if it gets pushed back a little bit further. But some of those plants are getting having some shutdowns, so that's why we're seeing some of those dates get pushed back. Mustang or Maverick has not been one that's been it's the factory. It's been going the whole time. That's one of the few models. Even Bronco was stopped production for a while, as well as the Expedition, F-150s and such, but Maverick is not. All right, some other scheduling notes you might think about is the Bronco, some of the key dates for the Bronco. So I did see some people that received some emails this week saying that they were closing off production and they were concerned that they were not they're closing off production. I should reword that. Sorry, that they're closing off orders because they were concerned that theirs wouldn't get built this year, that they were done producing. They're not done producing. They're still producing through the year, but the retail ordering is closing off on the 8th of March. So 2 p.m., 8th of March, 22 model year Bronco orders are going to be shut off. So that means you can't order a 22 and put your orders in, because people have been able to order the 22 Broncos so far this year. That's going to be shut off because of demand and wanting to get all these produced. So that's going to be shut off. Now, also retail ordering for the Raptor on March 7th. Those that basically you should have gotten an email if you're going to be able to order a Raptor. You're going to be able to do the retail ordering for that Raptor opening up next week. And then on the 15th is when the COVP deadline is for all those Bronco orders. They got in by that deadline, so that needs to be done. So just like with the Maverick, you have to have all that documentation for any order anymore, but that's just a reminder on the Bronco. Also, there was some price increases on some vehicles recently. The 22 Bronco Sport and the Lincoln Nautilus on 228. They had some price increase on some things. Expedition and Navigator on 3.1 also had some price increases. And don't forget, they are going to be price protected. We're going to talk about that in today's video about how that works. Not only just for the Ford Maverick, that's probably the big one everybody wants to know about, but even if you had a Ranger or an F-150 that also got a price increase back what the Maverick did, we're going to talk about how to make sure that your dealership price protects that, because you are getting price protection on any good retail orders before those deadlines. So if you got your order in before any price changes, then you're going to get the price protection. And we're going to go through and making sure how to make sure your dealership knows how to do that, because there are some dealers that don't know how to do it, and they're not up to speed on it. Maybe they haven't worked with it enough. And so we're going to talk about some of those later here in the video. In fact, we're getting a couple minutes here. We're going to actually talk about the Is It True for this week as well. And then also order guide updates. I did look today. A bunch of order guides changed today. The Edge, Expedition, Super Duty, Transit Connect Van, the Transit, the Ranger, Mustang, Shelby GT500, all those vehicle lines, their order guides were updated for some reason. So I'll try to look at a few of them. It's really difficult on the Super Duty order guide because of the way they do theirs. It's really complex. But the other ones, Edge, Expedition, I might be able to, and Ranger, maybe we'll look at those and see how those are different maybe next week. So that just came out today. And actually today, I actually called in sick. I've been having this flu yesterday. I went home and just felt like I was nauseated and everything. So I just kind of slept for like 16 hours. So I just came in about 5 o'clock. So I'm going to, so that I could do the live stream and chat with you guys. But we are going to, I'll look at those for next week, and we'll go, if there's any major changes, we'll go over that next week's live stream as well. One of the things I do want to cover real quickly before we move on to the Is It True? And that is actually two things. One is someone had a question about the catalytic converter issue with it glowing and getting hot and such like that. And I actually reached out to the brand manager. They were not aware of any issue, but they're going to look into it. And so he's going to get back to me, look into it. The brand manager does an extremely great job of communicating with me, and he really appreciates what we do on this channel and communicating on the Maverick Truck Club as well, and the different Facebook groups of helping you guys out. So he is always, if he has any information, he shares it with me so that I can keep you guys apprised of everything, and they know that this communication is what that you guys value, and Ford does value what we do here on this channel. So appreciate his feedback on that. Now, I'm going to go into the is it true here in just a few minutes. But so that is something he's going to be checking on, getting back with me. Any information that's that we have, he's going to share that with me so that I can share it on the live stream, as well as be able to post that on different social media sites and get everybody up to date on what's going on there. So, all right, so we are time for our is it true for this week. So I did find on a Maverick Truck Club, the link is in the description for this, that there was someone out there that said that they had heard that the 21, they talked to Ford customer support, and all of the summer 21 orders would get scheduled by April. So what does this mean? Well, that means that anybody that had a June, July, possibly August, because they usually consider that summer, those 3 months, if you had an order from those 3 months and they're still unscheduled, their goal, Ford's goal, is to have those scheduled by the end of April for what would be May. I guess if scheduled in March, that would be April, May. That'd be May production and June production. So their goal is to have all of the summer orders, and they're going to prioritize those to have those all scheduled here in the next couple months. So if you have a June, July, August order, just hold tight. Should hopefully, in fact, for us, we'll probably have a lot of our schedule next week for a lot of those for March production or for March scheduling, which would be May production dates for next. So hopefully we get a big chunk there, and then also in April. So now whether that's true or not, that was on there. Ford customer support said that. I did reach out to the brand manager because actually I misread that. I thought they just typed. I thought it was 22 model year would all be done by May, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, they're going to keep producing through the summer, right? So I did confirm with them they will be producing vehicles through the summer, he said. So they're going to be several months yet, and so that's the way that's going to work. And more than likely, they will try to get those early orders scheduled and in there going and everything here in the next couple months. So that's probably is true in that sense. And of course, I did get confirmation they are going to be producing through the summer, which we already had known about. But that is something I wanted to make sure that we covered here. And so one other thing I wanted to share with you is the Maverick that we actually received. We got this on a trade-in. Let me show you this here. Click this up. So we had a guy out of Kansas City area that reached out to us, and he likes to trade vehicles often. He bought a Maverick early. It's an EcoBoost Maverick, and he received it. And and he did some things. It was actually premiered in one of the Kansas City magazines there in Kansas City, and so he did a lot of cool things to this Maverick. I believe this is an XLT EcoBoost. Not sure if it's all-wheel drive or not. I would assume it is. Not the FX4 package, doesn't have the decal on the side, but I believe this does have the tow package. So as you can see, he added some pretty cool wheels to it, some aftermarket wheels. Really like the design of those. Hood scoop on the top that is not a functional hood scoop, is cosmetic. But it looks real cool on this. Gives it a nice tough look there on the front. So just a great look. So it's not the Luxe package either. You can tell because it doesn't have the body colored mirrors right there. It would have that otherwise. And then see, I have another picture. So there's a close-up of that hood scoop there. And then one from the back here I want to show you. They did add the rails back here to the bed with the tent. So that is a tent, the Yakima tent on the back that they added to this as well. And you can kind of see the lettering. They added the Maverick lettering on the back. They did a aftermarket spray and bed liner, a Rhino liner on the end there as well. So that was all done to it. So this is an XLT. We actually, one of the articles I was going to talk about and I didn't get to, or decided not to talk about, and that is the resale value of the used vehicles. This vehicle has less than a couple hundred miles on it. And he just wanted to buy something that we have here. He bought an F-150 lifted up truck from us and traded this in on it. Just likes to trade often and everything. And so this will be available for sale, less than a couple hundred miles. Should be getting cleaned up and pictured real soon. I just grabbed a couple of these one night when I was out here. That will be available, and it looks like we're going to price it at $39,900 on that particular vehicle. And we had to step up and pay quite a pretty good amount of money on trade-in value on this Maverick to even be able to trade for it and to make the deal work. We did that, needed to get some an F-150 sale, so it's going to be priced $39,900. Actually, less markup than we have on a new vehicle. I'm just telling you that. Not telling you exactly what our markup is on it, but I will tell you that it's less than what we are typically doing on a new vehicle. So anyway, that's available if you guys want to be checking our website for that if you're interested in it. I used a Maverick. So the other thing, I think I covered everything else. Wanted to before our time, so I can answer a few questions before. I think we have 10 minutes or so before we get into the topic. Did I miss any questions? Probably did up here. All right, so Power CR Racing, right? RC Racing, I should say. Hi Tim, my MAV is shown in production. Yesterday it listed a potential delivery date of 4/6. Today that line is gone from the tracking page. Should I still be hopeful for an early April? More than likely that it's disappeared is maybe something that would be puzzling of why it would have changed and then disappeared off there. But I would probably still think it's going to be at the early April. I've had some situations where on my own personal one where it didn't move at all. It didn't give me any updates for several weeks, and then it just showed up, and it was within that time frame that they originally said. So that's probably mean that is going out. So anyway, all right. June in Vermont says, "Gosh, Tim, very nice of you to be here tonight." Oh yeah. Actually feeling a lot better. So I think it's the little 24-hour flu or something that's going around. But just, this afternoon I was feeling a lot better and came on in. All right. So Kent said, "Hi, Tim. I got a VIN with build date April 18. On when do you think I can roughly deliver? Roughly delivery is if no change." I also can see not see the sticker. All right, so you have a VIN with the build date. Okay, so you won't see the window sticker anymore until you get about a week out from your build date. So, and you never know. I mean, I had a build date of the week of March 3rd, and then I even had a build date, and then it pushed me back another week. So they can, even up to a couple of weeks before that, get pushed back. So you still have you still have about a month before you're getting closer to that build date, but that could move back and forth around. You'll notice probably a lot of people on social media sites that have talked about how theirs went back a couple of weeks and then went forward a couple of weeks. So that is just a prediction there. So hopefully you can get scheduled really soon around there, or maybe they push it up and you even get produced a little early. All right, so we also have a question up here. It says, I ordered November 23rd Lariat in Canada with all package and tonneau cover. Dealer said I am in April allocation. Any idea of the build date? Actually, I'm not sure what the dealer's thinking there, but there's probably no way of knowing whether or not you're going to be produced in April. I mean, you have you ordered in November, and I don't know if it's an EcoBoost or a hybrid. That does make a big difference. If it's an EcoBoost, you probably are seeing that you probably get scheduled soon. I would still encourage you to take off that tonneau cover, and if you want to keep the other packages, that's fine. I guess November 23rd build date would be an EcoBoost, so I don't know what I'm thinking. So maybe I need to get some energy drink here. So yeah, you have an EcoBoost order, so that means November EcoBoost order. Yeah, it could get scheduled real soon. We have no way of knowing what's going to get allocated. If I look at somebody in my list and I say, hey, you're number 30 in line, you should get scheduled this next month. I don't really know for sure, because if they have the side that we're capped on, all of ours that are like right now, all of our top 60, 70 orders here, or 80, our top 80 orders all have a luxury package with a co-pilot package. So there might be, if they are capped, then they might get an order from September that pulls up into there and gets scheduled instead. So it's really hard to be able to tell that. The dealer really can't tell you that, but I would still take off that tonneau cover if I were you. Probably the reason, if you have an EcoBoost order that you haven't been scheduled for November yet, is because of that tonneau cover. If I were you, I'd take it off. All right. Okay. All right, so move on down. Again, make sure you tag at Long McArthur, so all one word, Long McArthur, and that just allows it to be, pops up for me orange. I know a lot of you guys chit-chat with each other in here, and I love seeing that, but go ahead, and I want to make sure I'm going through and answering the questions, so make sure you tag that at Long McArthur, and I can get that looked at there. All right, go down here, let's see here. Snapple. Is scheduling week the same as build week? No. My Maverick is scheduled to build this week. Got window sticker last week. So if if I say that's going to be scheduled this week, usually it's, the build week is when it's scheduled to be built. So you're going to get a build week, like you have a build week of this next week. You have a window sticker, which means that at some point, if a dealer looks in their system, they can see that it's actually scheduled to a day. So within our system, we'll say scheduled to a week and then scheduled to a day. Like mine, in fact, I don't mind showing you mine. I wouldn't want to do this with some other customers, but I can show you on my Expedition how that would work. All right, so let me show you on mine here. See if I pull and get this done right here. Here we go. Well, come on. Sorry. There we go. Maybe I gotta come over here for you guys to see it. Still can't see it. Bear with me just a second. Oh, wait. There we go. Now you can see it. Okay. So, yeah, you can see on mine. See, I have my Expedition. I have 3 here on order. The F-150 Lightning, and then I have this Expedition. So if I click on the link for me, the VIN number, see on mine you could see that it was at the very bottom is the oldest stuff. So it was an unscheduled clean October 26th, and then December 16th is when it got scheduled to the week of February 14th, right? And then it got scheduled to the day. It moved it to February 18th, and then it was scheduled to the week again, the February 21st, so it moved back a week. And then it was scheduled to the day of March 3rd, and then it was moved back again, scheduled to the week of March 7th, and now it's scheduled to the day of March 12th. So there's a scheduled a week and a scheduled today. And, I did get a scheduled today for February 18th, and it got pushed back a whole month. And now I'm sitting at March 12th. So, and who knows if it gets pushed back anymore. That's just like 11 days away. So hopefully it doesn't, because these other times when it moved, it was like a month in advance. So like, I think the date that this one got moved from the 18th to the 21st, it was still, I guess it was 10 days in front of it. So it still could get changed, but just so you guys know kind of what that looks like. But yeah, so there you go. So that's kind of the difference between that. So. All right. It seems like everyone's delivery date disappeared from the online tracker. Okay. Well, I'm sure that's probably, I've seen that happen before, and it's just gets pushed back a little bit, but or I mean, it's a glitch for just a little bit, but it should pop back on. But Sundays are a good day. A lot of times it seems like Ford will do on Sundays, we'll do a tracking of people that are estimated delivery. So hopefully that'll get fixed by this weekend. But most important question there is right now: did you test your fordvideoguy water bottle and your daughter's Maverick? Yes. Okay, so I have a couple different ones. So this one here that I made with my wife's help. So we made this one here. This is a what they call a skinny 22, I think, and this one fits real perfectly into the to the Maverick door. So it does fit in that spot. Now this other one that I've given out to some of the members, which is kind of funny. So this one here that I purchased at the auto show, that does not fit in the door. It even says Maverick. You'd think Ford would if they produced these and made them and put Maverick on it, that they would make sure that it would fit in the door. That one's actually too big. It does not fit in the door. We did test that one out, but I don't know. I don't have my glasses. I can't see the size, but yeah. So that does not fit. So just so you know. And we do have one more of those for our members. We're giving those away each week to our members. So if you're a member and you're not checking your email, check your emails every Wednesday afternoon, because we're going to be giving a giveaway each week for our members. So make sure you're doing that. So anyway, okay, it is time. I didn't even see the clock go down. So we are going to start talking about it. Hopefully, it must have just clicked off. All right, so this week's topic is how to make sure your dealer honors the price protection. Okay, so there's a couple things that I want to make sure you guys you're getting protected, and one of them is the price of when you ordered your vehicle. So whatever when you ordered your vehicle, you should have gotten a printout of your order sheet. So you should have got that printout. Let me give you a couple examples. So I didn't prepare on this, but so you should have gotten something similar to that sheet, right? So that's your order sheet. That's what you should have gotten from your dealer. So you should have gotten an order sheet from your dealer, and on that order sheet should have the price of what it was for your Maverick when you ordered it. So the original price on your vehicle when you ordered it. So on the XLT, it starts at $22,280. If you see it says $22,300, I think it's $380 or $360, then you know that is the price increase. Now I will tell you this: if you make any changes to your Maverick, when they print a new sheet for you, a new order sheet, it's going to actually show. It's going to look like it's more expensive. It's gone up. If you make any amendments, you still are locked to the original pricing. So if you have, for instance, if you have a Maverick on order and you ordered it back in June, July, August, anytime prior to, 12/26, if you ordered anytime before that, you're locked into the original pricing of all those packages and everything you have on there. If you take something off of your order, then it's going to protect that pricing. So you want to make sure you keep a copy of your original order sheet and make sure that breakdown is honored by your dealer. And the way that's going to work is that your dealer will actually, when they go to pull it, if you see a window sticker printed, a lot of people have asked that and like, well, I don't see a price protection because I got a copy of my window sticker. It's being delivered, and it's saying it's more expensive than what my order sheet says. It will, because of the price increase. The invoice as well as the window sticker will be with that price increase. It's your dealer that needs to honor the price. So with any of our customers, we're keeping the original order sheet. So when we go to do our paperwork, we're going to see, okay, that original price was this. There was a price increase. Well, we know that you can break it down on all those different itemized prices and what it was originally. And if somebody took something off, you would just take what that difference was. Let's say they took off the Copilot 360 package that was what, 505 something back then. You would take that off the price, and that's their new price. So that's how that should work. So it has to be done within the dealership. So the dealer needs to honor your price. And so, yeah, your window stickers and your invoices will show a price increase. They will show that higher price. It is the dealer that needs to honor that in your pricing agreement, which was another reason why I said make sure you get a signed buyer's order so that they know to tie that to it, because that is the price that it's going to be when you originally ordered your vehicle. And the other thing that you want to make sure that gets price protected and is honored is the incentives. So you can price protect your incentives. So I should have that here. Here we go. So here's how you want to make sure you do that, because I've had several people within the last week that have asked me that and said, well, they're saying that I can't get the incentives that they were back then because they've changed now and this is what I'm tied to. But they can. A lot of dealerships don't know how to do it. So if you click on, so when your dealer, first of all, you want to honor the price, and the way the dealer is going to, here, before I go into this, let me just kind of wrap up what I was talking about. So once you lock in your price, your dealer should lock in that price. And the way the dealer is going to get reimbursed is 45 days later. So exactly how that reads, I have that here. Somebody actually posted this. So Mark, one of our, in fact, our winner of a water bottle this last week, Mark posted this on Maverick Truck Club, and this is almost word for word exactly right. I mentioned this last week and talked about it. That price protection is guaranteed to the original price level of the vehicle as long as it is reported sold to the original ordering customer. So if you find one out there at a dealership, they don't have to honor that price. It's going to be that you're going to see that price increase, but it says to the original ordering customer. So what Ford wants to see is that's the reason there's a 45-day lag there, is they want to see that deal handed into Ford and that it was reported to that person that ordered the vehicle. So whoever ordered the vehicle, their name has to be on the title. Their name and address has to match with the ordering to be able to get that price. So that's where you need to make sure that happens. So the price protection covers both the base, option, and destination and delivery prices of the vehicle and will automatically be paid approximately 45 days after the vehicle is reported sold to the same customer for whom the vehicle was ordered. Price protection retail policies apply to U.S. orders only. So it doesn't mention this. This is not saying Canada. I'm not sure how it's done in Canada, but this from the sheet that I was given from the brand manager, it does say U.S. orders only. So I'm not sure in Canada if they had, for one, if they had price increases, and also two, whether or not they're honoring that. So that's how that's done. So the dealer has to honor those. Now the other thing you want to make sure they honor is any kind of incentives that were available. So when you ordered your vehicle, if you saw this rebate was out, because we're talking about Maverick for the most part, most of you are, but also if you maybe you order an F-150, because there's a lot of vehicles right now, when you order a vehicle you get an extra rebate that's good for right now. Well, those get locked in as well. So any incentives, which would be rebates, 0% by Ford credit, anything like that, can be locked in when you order the vehicle. So this is how that would your dealer would actually pull what they call a smart Vincent on your vehicle, and this is what that looks like. This is the first page, the top part, the top section. This is the most important section. So you would see up there, it says just kind of a breakdown. Customer category is public. It's a retail. That's what we're talking about. Customer vehicle is a retail. And then incentive based on. It's right in the middle, right above the white line, the divider right there. You see where it says sale date and production or protection date. So you can pull incentives for that sale date based on the sale date or the production date or protection date. Keep talking about production and protection. So anyway, so you have sale date and you have protection date. So if you click on the protection date, then, oops, there you go. I guess I made it smaller, but you can see there, this is the incentives on this particular person's order. They ordered in October 4th. It happened to be an EcoBoost order. They ordered in October, and this was the rate that was available on this particular customer's vehicle when they ordered the vehicle. So it got 0% for 36 months, 0.9 for 48, 1.9 for 60. And so that's what it would be. So if we had pulled theirs off of the sale date, it would be like 1.9 for 36 now instead, I think, is what it is currently. So that's how you would want to make sure you know that. So just kind of knowing some of those things, make sure that your dealership, you go in, you have your order sheet ready, make sure your dealership knows, hey, this should be price protected to what it was when we ordered it. And say, no, it's been a price increase since then. Say, no, you have to honor the price that is on my order sheet. And so then that's why you want to make sure you keep a copy of that order sheet so you have that. And then also knowing that your window sticker isn't going to dictate the right price, neither is the invoice. And if they try to pull that out and say, see, here's the window sticker and invoice that was just printed, say, no, I'm still price protected on my order date. So Hopefully most dealerships know what's going on. They know about this and they honor that, but you may have to, this may be something where if the dealership doesn't do this very often or whatever, they're not out any money. That's what these dealers don't understand is Ford is going to reimburse them that money. So if they don't honor your price and they make you pay more, they're just going to make more money on your deal when they get the money back from Ford, because Ford's going to give them the money back. Right? They're going to pay that back to the dealership. So that's going to be profit to them if they don't honor that price to you. So that is your price and it is your right to get that. So just, you know, hey, I want to talk to manager, whatever, get that manager to come out if you need to go to that point, but make sure that they're honoring that price for your vehicle. And then throw that word out there, Smart Vincent. If you want to, hey, I want to lock in the 0%, I want that 0%, and they say, oh, that's not good anymore. I'm like, no, what you need to do is look for, I want the production date on the Smart Vincent. Protection date on the Smart Vincent instead of the sale date, and that will lock in that 0% for you and any of those incentives. So you know, this is a topic that's been out for a while, actually since the beginning of the year when we talked about this, when the prices went up and everything, is that you can get the price from when you order the vehicle or when the vehicle at the sale date, and one of those two. And so you want to make sure they honor that. Now, talking about 23 model year prices, some people asked about that. Will those be locked in? It's hard to tell, but I believe it will be. They did that on Bronco. We had a lot of Bronco orders that carried over, and they carried those prices over. So if they have a lot of vehicles that are going to get pushed over into 23, they will be having a press release. They will be talking about this. They will send a memo out to dealers and making sure that they are aware of what's going on, and that those prices, that they're going to hold to those prices or give them a special incentive or something like that. One of those two usually happens. Ford really likes to take care of their customers, if this is here's one truth to that, is that back at the beginning of the year, back when this production started, and you could schedule it, people were ordering a front-wheel drive with a 4K tow package, and when Ford said, we're not making any of those, you have to go to all-wheel drive to get the 4K tow package, then they gave all those people that originally ordered a front-wheel drive with a 4K that had to go to all-wheel drive, they actually gave them a $2,220 rebate to make up that difference for that customer, because they felt bad. So the same thing could happen when they go from 23, those orders go from 22 to 23 production a year or model year, then they're going to do something to help those customers out as well. So just keep that in mind. They're going to take care of you. All right. So let's answer. I had some other questions here. Most important question. Okay. I kind of kept my screen up here so I can answer any questions. I don't want to miss any. Hi, Tim. I got a VIN with a build date. Okay. I think I talked about that one. All right, another disappointing Friday. Hoping to finally get build date on my Bronco, but instead got my 5th production week. Are incentives only for people who are using Ford financing? Is the dealer limited to how many incentives they can offer in any given month so they can save them for Ford financing customers? No. I mean, incentives can be rebates or special rates, and it's based on VIN. It's VIN specific. It's based on your particular vehicle. So it's going to work on as many as they want. So they're not limited to how many they can do. I think hopefully I answered that correctly there. All right, place an order 1023 for Maverick Hybrid XL, April 18th scheduled build week in New York City area, hoping for the best. Good luck there. Sorry, if that came off sarcastic, I didn't mean for it to be. I meant good luck. So I hope you get scheduled real soon and get produced real soon. Hopefully they move those dates up a little bit. And he did tell me they're scheduled about 7 weeks out from, so like if they do scheduling 1 week, then they're scheduling out about 7 weeks. So he did tell me that. So what do I do if the dealership didn't give me a copy of the order sheet? You can request one now. But you can also, I can let you know prices of what some of those price increases were. I don't know if I have the originals, but I know a lot of them off the top of my head. The main ones that they changed the price increases on was the XLT trim and the Lariat trim went up on the base trims, and then your luxury packages and the Copilot 360 packages. I believe those are the ones that went up on price. Oh, moonroof also went up on price. All right, is there a place we can go to find out the incentives by date? No. Just when they pull your events, they can pull one of those 2 days, either the sale date or the protection date. All right. Does a 0% finance incentive still work for Ford Pass credit? Yes. Yeah, because when you go to put your smart Vincent, they actually want you to pull your Ford Pass information in there to match it up with that customer. In fact, we have to have 100% of those. So Ford wants that on every single one. So yes, it should work. Ford credit is gonna work regardless of whether or not you have the Ford Pass in there. But the dealers should be putting that in there anyway. Should apply for Ford credit now or wait until it's time for purchase? Wait until time for purchase. One thing we found out on ours is we had somebody that was worried that their rates were going to go up, and the salesperson didn't realize, as well as the desking manager didn't realize, that you can still do the protection date. And so they went ahead and did paperwork on their vehicle, and they knew it was in transit. I think it was in Kansas City. Well, once we did paperwork, we can no longer track that vehicle. At that point, once you've done paperwork, Ford says you've now become ownership of that. They stop tracking the vehicle. So you don't want that to happen, because if something happens and it's stuck someplace, we're not able to see that that's where it's sitting. And so you don't want to do it for that reason. So, and then also you don't want to apply for Ford credit, because the approvals from Ford credit only last 30 days, and you'll have to do it again if it doesn't come in within those 30 days. All right. How can I find out what my incentives were at the time I ordered? If you have a VIN, they can actually pull it. Actually, that example I used was a VIN that I pulled prior to it showing up. Once you have a VIN number, you should be able to pull that, and you can actually see that date. So, and I think they were 0% up through the first of the year. If I remember right, that rates that I showed you right there were the rates from about any order before January 1st. I think January 1st is when we saw those rates go up, maybe even February 1st. But it was just recently that the rates went up from the 0%. So if you're wondering that, of whether or not you're 0% or you're 0.9 or 1.9, I think January 1st is about where that cutoff was. So if you got yours in before, the end of the year, then you're gonna, more likely yours should come up 0%, but it will be dictated by your VIN number. Okay. How can I find out okay. Sorry, skipping around on me. Pardon me there. Is there a place we can go to find out? Just answer that one. If I'm pushed to a 23, will I get the APR on my loan at the time of my order? From what I understand, that's the way it should work, because you still have that original order date. So you're using that date for your protection date. So you should get that same rate. If I order a Bronco tomorrow, will it arrive before the Maverick Lariat Lux I ordered on 126? Hard to tell. There's still people that have, depends on what you order on your Bronco. If you ordered a very base Bronco, because most of the people that are still waiting for the Bronco from July of 2020 are mainly Wild Tracks and Badlands. So if you ordered like a base, no hardtop, that kind of stuff, or a Big Ben, no hardtop, and that kind of thing, then you probably could get one scheduled, fairly soon, because they can only make so many of the Badlands and Wild Tracks at a time, but yet they can produce more Broncos. So we have seen people that have ordered that way. Tim, do you know how I can get old Maverick X-Plan prices? So when I go get the car, I make sure they match that price. hopefully you have your original order sheet. It should have that pricing on there, and it's the X plan pricing should be based pretty closely to that. It should show it on the original one. I really, to be honest, I don't know where to find that for that pricing, but on the invoice it should show all the different prices, and then you need to show that difference in that. So that's a good question though. I'll have to look at some of the most recent ones. We actually haven't received any vehicles that were not already the original pricing, because most of them, those invoices were printed and everything prior to that change. We actually haven't received one from January yet, so that's been produced in January. So that's how kind of far behind they are on some of the shipping out, and because of chips and different things. But when we get one in, I'll definitely refer to that and kind of look at that so we can show that, because you can see the X-Plan pricing on the increase, and then maybe we can grab one that's not and we can see that difference. But you get a sticker, how long till you build? Usually when you can pull the window sticker, it means it's going to be built the next week. Thanks for answering. I appreciate these sessions that you do. Cool. All right. Can you check with service and see if you can raise the wattage in the plugs just by putting in a bigger watt inverter? Things. That's a good question. Service is probably never going to tell you to do anything that won't be covered under warranty. And by doing something like that, you're going to probably do something outside of the warranty, and they probably wouldn't recommend you to being able to do it. Whether you can do it, probably could, but I wouldn't recommend it because it could void your warranty. When will we know about F-150 Lightning incentives and or interest rates? Will spray and bed liner delay Lightning build? I lifted off mine. I'm not going to chance it. It's spray and bed liner on a Super Duty, on an F-150, on a Ranger, on a Maverick are all holding up builds. So I'm not going to take a chance on an F-150 Lightning either. So I took it off of mine. So I know they're trying to produce the Lightnings in order, kind of like Tesla does. I still don't think, they know that, Ford is able to produce a lot more vehicles faster than Tesla can. And so I believe that going in order isn't always the most efficient. The reason they do it the way they do it is because they can produce more vehicles in a shorter amount of time. And so if I were you, I'd leave it off. That's what I did. I left bed covers off mine. I plan to put a bed cover on, a spray and liner in mine. I left those off of my build. I would do the same if I were you. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. Oh, I thought I had it on here. Power running boards are available on the F-150 Lightning. You can select that and amend your order, but when you do that, I did it on mine, it actually puts it into an unscheduled material hold, because power running boards are a late availability item on the F-150 Lightning. So even though you can select it, your order won't be looked at and won't get scheduled because that's not available yet. So I had it on mine, saved it, and I noticed it had a material hold, and I said, oh, okay, well, I'm going to take it off. And then I'll keep checking it about every week or so. Once they're available and those become available, I'll let you guys know that. But that's something that I noticed is, it's on material hold. So anybody wondering about that, I actually talked about it in our Facebook Live last Thursday, and wanted to make sure I let you guys know as well this week. Picked up my hybrid XLT Lux 2 weeks ago, June order, no fits kit with it, and dealer was unsure how to get it. It should have came through the parts department. I have the email from Ford and also checked with parts department. Any insight? It would be with their parts department. They probably don't even realize it's there. We had a whole stack of these piling up in our parts department. We didn't realize they were getting in there, and the parts manager did not, let anybody know about it, and they just kind of stacked up in parts department. So I actually did a video a while back. It's I don't know, not a real big box, but there's a box. On the box will have a VIN number that it should be attached to. So somewhere in the parts department is where it should be. It's going to be delivered to the dealership. What do I do if my dealership did not give me a copy of my order? I'd ask for one now. If they print one now, it's going to show the new pricing. Again, I can probably do a breakdown on the original pricing. Give me a second. See if I have it. I don't think I kept that original pricing, but I know there were several weeks there where I kept a copy of it because I knew that we would talk about it back when the price increased, but then I think I threw that away. All right, tell you what. I think I can figure this out. Let's pull a price sheet right now. Oops, wrong page. Move this back over here. Okay, let me pull a price sheet and we can go over some of the pricing, and I can actually pull a couple vehicles and get this for you. 22 and go. Maverick price list. So there's just a couple of the things that changed on the pricing. So the XLT base price is now $22,360. The original price was $22,280, I believe, if I remember right. And then the Lariat base, can't remember how much that went up, but right now it's $25,860. And I think originally it was $25,300 something, somewhere in there. If I remember right, I think it went up like maybe $400, $500. And then also another price that went up is the luxury packages, I believe. And I'm sure there are going to be some people in the group that can probably answer these questions about the prices, if they know that off the top of their head. And in fact, I think I did see Johnny's Car Care in here. He might know that if he remembers that. But the luxury packages, see if I can see it here. Here we go. XLT luxury package 2,500 is what it is now on both the luxury packages. Wait. Oh, okay. This are two different ones. $2,500 what it is now. I can't remember exact price it was before that. I'll find that out. And then the Lariat luxury package is $3,750. And then I know the moonroof went up like $200. Where's it at? I think the moonroof's $1,000 now. I think it was like $799 before. I think the moonroof went up 200. I don't see it. I'm sure I'm just going right by it. Anyway, I think so. So I'll check on the different prices, but I think, those are some of the prices. Here, let me see. I have a couple orders here that we can get some examples from, because I know that they were ordered originally and they probably would not have the price increase. Anybody responded? 22,280 XLT. Somebody put that in there. Somebody said the Lariat luxury EcoBoost went up $1,000. Is that total with both? $890 more for the Lariat luxury. Okay. See, I can count on you guys. You guys got it. So okay. 25,490 was the Lariat base. So that gives you some examples there. And Copilot 360 was another one that went up. It's now $650, and originally it was $500 and some change, I think. This one I'm looking at actually has the price increase. Here we go. $540 was the Copilot 360 originally. This one has it on it. And then here's a nope. This order's got several things on it, but it does not have a luxury package on it. And that's the price increase on that one. Anyway, I'll have to probably look up some other orders. But once I look them up in Webdo, it's going to have the price increase on it. Because anytime you are reprinting something, it'll have the price increase. So, but I'll try to see if I can get, anyway, I can get the breakdown of some of those original prices. Moonroof was $7.95. I do remember that. So some of them, so there you go. So an XLT base was $22,280. Lariat base before any options was $25,490. We know the moonroof was $795. Copilot 360 was $540. We know that the Lariat, somebody said the Lariat luxury package is $890 more. Trying to do math on video. It's not a good thing. Maybe it was 36,660. Is that right? Or wait, that wouldn't be right. Anyway, trying to do math here. So anyway, yeah, some of those prices, hopefully you guys can help each other out there and kind of give you those. There you go. Copilot was $540. So, all right. Sorry. All right. So somebody asked, thank you for the answers on how to find the incentives on the protection date. That is going to be nice. Cool. A question about dealerships possibly placing Maverick orders when over their allotment. Okay. Actually, I don't mind talking about this because this is actually something that I think that was part of the same post that I actually linked down below. Was somebody said that that dealership had taken more orders than their allotment, but when we take orders, the only time that there's only been a couple vehicles where you go over your allocations because we don't know allocations. We only know allocations on a monthly basis. Ford doesn't tell us, especially on the Maverick. Maverick is a brand new vehicle this year, never been produced before. They have no idea dealer-wide how many vehicles dealers are going to sell to give them allocations based on projections for future months and for the year. They had no idea that what dealers are going to be able to produce or to sell and what weren't. So to say that dealers have gone over their allocations, we have 500 orders. Is that more than we maybe would normally sell? It's hard to tell because we haven't sold any Mavericks prior to this year. It is a new model. F-150s, we typically sell 30 F-150s every single month, but we sell maybe 6 to 8 Escapes. So they kind of give us projected allocations based on previous years and previous months sales history. On the Maverick, they can't do that. They had no idea how many to allocate us. Now, Bronco, on the other hand, when Ford was giving allocations for the year, they allowed us to take orders, people to pick their dealership, where they want to put their orders in and everything. And then they allowed all these reservations to be taken, right? And then at the beginning, when we were ready to switch reservations over to orders, Ford said, here's how your allocation is going to be based on. That's going to be based on how many Jeeps there are sold in your market area. So in our market area, where our Jeep dealer doesn't sell that many Jeeps, and we're not even a Jeep dealer, our allocations were affected by that. That wasn't right. But so so that happened. So then they told us, here's how many allocations you're going to get for 21 production for the Bronco. We went over. I think probably every dealer went over if they did any kind of marketing whatsoever, they probably went over on their allocations. And what would they said they were going to allocate it? Most models aren't done. They don't do it that way. You get allocations each month. So you take orders in and you get allocations. Ford doesn't tell you, hey, by the way, we're only going to give you 100 allocations for Maverick for 2022 production. They didn't tell us that. They did not tell us how many vehicles that we can take orders in and get allocated and get scheduled and get produced for our dealership. They told us take all the Maverick orders. In fact, our regional, the head of our region said, take all the orders in, we'll get them produced. Don't worry about that. So we did. We just kept taking orders in, and we're getting allocations based on that. One month we had 100 allocations. Another month we had 40 allocations. Last month we had 30 allocations. One month we had 45. Hopefully you see the point on this is that every month it's different based on our region and what's left and what orders are done within that region. So for a Ford rep to be able to, or for a Ford customer support person, which they do a fabulous job, nothing there, but to say that we took in more orders than what were allocated, well, right now, technically we are, because we should have more orders than what we have allocations for, because if we have less, then, and we get more allocations, that doesn't make sense, because they're giving allocations based on orders you have, retail orders that you have on the Maverick. So very passionate about that, because I really think that that's misconceived out there and it's getting a bad rep. That, we as Ford dealers have customers come to us wanting to order vehicles, and we order them, and then allocations are based on a monthly basis, not on an overall yearly production, because I don't think Ford actually thought they were going to get 80,000 orders for the Maverick. I think I don't think they really comprehended how many orders they're going to have on the Maverick when it was launched. And so for us to be able to, for dealers, we probably all received more than what our normal allocations are. So all right, remember the first Ford telling dealerships that special orders weren't going to be restricted by the allocation system. Correct. And that's exactly Cooper Smith, that exactly what I kind of alluding to. You said it so much better than I did, but yes, basically Ford said at the beginning that retail orders were going to be allocated. They weren't going to go against your allocations, but then they realized they had so many retail, because at the beginning dealers were able to take in stock. We were able to put in stock allocations or stock orders as well as retail orders, because they thought dealers were going to get stock orders as well as retail orders, because they really didn't think that we'd have this many people that would put in an order on a vehicle they had never driven before. And so, that happened. But when they started seeing the retail orders coming in, and the big chunk, because June, July, August orders are 60% of our orders for the year came in June, July, August, and 43% of our total orders came in the month of July alone. So I think at that point, before they even started production, they realized we're not going to be doing that many stock allocations. It's going to be basically retail allocations. At that point, like it says there, Ford is going to give you what you have to fulfill your orders. Because one of the things they don't want to do is they don't want to penalize the customer because they chose a certain dealership. We don't know how many allocations we have for March yet, so we haven't gotten that number. The 3rd, in 2 days, is when we're going to have our wholesale meeting to be able to to go over that. So that'll be on March 3rd. So that's when we'll know do a wholesale meeting, and we should know probably by the end of this week our allocations. Even in the wholesale meeting, we may not have our allocation numbers, so it may be the beginning of next week, but we should know at least by next Monday, I would think. So I'll be able to tell you guys on the Tuesday live stream. How does the down payment work when living out of state of Kansas? Do customers wire or mail check? If you on your sales tax, how does down payment work? If you're a down payment, yeah, you can wire money to us, send us a check. Several different ways there. Sorry, my mind went to sales tax, but on an out-of-state deal, sales tax, you have to pay sales tax in your state. So just don't forget to think about that if you're doing an out-of-state deal. Those of you that ordered a vehicle from Chapman and Granger and some of those other dealerships, don't forget about that. If you're getting out of state, they can't claim taxes except for within their state. So if you're out of state, don't forget that you're going to have pay sales tax within your state. So figure that out. We have a couple different ways around that. If people don't have the money to pay for the sales tax in their state, we can work around that and do some things. Tim, I ordered a hybrid XLT on November 12th. No Lux or 360. I'm currently driving my mother's Honda Fit. Will I have my Maverick by July? Probably not, would be my guess. So Dave, I wouldn't guarantee that, but it's hard for me. No Lux, no 360 helps your order out, but on one of the last orders, it's hard to tell. So it'd be a good guessing. You probably won't have it by July. Maybe get scheduled for July build date, possibly. I don't know. All right, Jack said, late tip, print out your window sticker, which will show the new pricing. Write down the original prices on the window sticker. Good way to compare when at the dealer. That's another way of making sure. But yeah, if you have an order sheet from your original order, hopefully all of you do, most of you do, then that would be the best way, because then you know what those prices were originally, and especially those base prices. So if you made any changes, price would go down, not up. And so if you're taking off like the Copilot 360 package, it should be 540 less, right? If you took off the luxury package, you would take that amount off as well. So I'll try to come up with those amounts if I can try to find some information that I have. I go through some of the maybe some of the orders that we've received early, because if you can pull up one window sticker of somebody's vehicle that they received even in January and all, you can get those prices. So maybe within the community that can help calculate all those for us. People to smash that like button. Yes, smash that like button. All right. Okay. Any other questions here? Okay, so Eric asked, did Ford allocate the number of Broncos beforehand or just 22 models? So at the beginning of when that launched, they told dealers kind of here's how many allocations you're going to have for this production year. They did do that on the Bronco at the beginning of the year, and they based that percentage and those numbers off of certain criteria. And one of the criteria was how many Jeeps were registered within your DMA, your dealer market area. And for us, I think our market area is like 30 miles because of where we live. And so that was one of the biggest factors. So we got, I think for 21 model year, we were told we were going to get 21 or 45 21 allocations, and we had 150 orders in. And so actually I think we had a bunch of people cancel. So we ended up, by the time we got figured out who canceled and what orders got converted, we had like 95 orders converted over. So only half of our customers were going to get a 21, and the other half were going to get pushed to 22 production year. But for 22, they didn't give us a number of what we were going to receive. Actually, I think they did. And it's coming out pretty close to the rest of the rest of the people. So we should fulfill the rest of those orders for 22, but then we also gain more orders of people that could order in 22, because they opened it back up for a little while for 22. So we also had those as well. So whether they're all going to get produced and allocated to us or not, I'm not sure. But is there any issues getting price protection plus X plan? My dealer is currently reaching out to Ford to understand the process. That is a good question that came up earlier, Kevin, and I'm not sure how that works, because I know on the pricing, MSRP pricing and even invoice, we can kind of figure out those numbers. But when it comes to X plan, it's usually the X plan is a percentage from the D plan price, from what I understand, if I remember right. So you have a D plan price, and then it's a certain percentage over that is where you get the X plan figure. So you'd have to have pulled that originally. So I'm not really sure how they're going to be able to do that. So there you go. Whiskey actually put in there the base prices for your XLT and your Lariat there, so you know those. kind of same numbers I think we were talking about earlier. Here's a link for price increase. All right, any other questions? Here we got a couple questions. Whoops, skipped. All right, are the delivery dates pretty spot on? You know, they're pretty good. Once they're released from the factory and you have this window, they're pretty good about hitting that window. We've noticed on a lot of ours they have, but there was a glitch there for a while. In fact, right now we have a lot of vehicles that we were supposed to get this month that we didn't receive. We were supposed to receive 17 this month based on the dates that they were given, and then we received I think 7. I think we received like 7 or 8 instead of the 17. So those are going to get carried over to this month. So when they had the chip issue and they have had some shipping issue out of Kansas City, those dates kind of changed a little bit. But usually they're pretty close. So, you know, within that window. All right. Any other questions? Kevin, I think I just answered your question there. Well, the best I could. I don't really know how that's going to work. How does X-Plan pricing protection work? Dealer is saying it needs to charge the new increased X-Plan price, and the protection comes as a rebate when shows up upon delivery. I don't think so. You're not going to get a rebate. The way Ford's going to do it on the price protection is that's going to be basically money back to the dealership on their parts statement. It's what that's going to be. Or they're going to get, not necessarily on the parts statement. They're just going to get that back from Ford, along with their other money that they get on their monthly money for their sold vehicles and such. So that's where they're going to see that price difference. So the dealer will get that. You probably won't get a rebate. So if the dealer's telling you, oh, you'll get a rebate later, go ahead and pay this now, and then you'll get money back later, don't expect that to come. I don't think it's going to happen. How are your salespeople doing with so many models on the can't order list? The can't order list. How are your salespeople doing with so many models on the can't order list? Clarence, I'm not sure when you mean the can't order list. We can order about anything right now. So I'm not sure what unless you're meaning like some of the different things. You're probably meaning the memo that came out about the vehicles that you need to go through. That's probably what you're talking about. You're probably talking about this list, which I've highlighted. So if you're talking about that list, our focus in right now is to contact customers that have some of the things in the early orders. We're working our way down because we want those people that were early to get taken care of first, because they need to get theirs, in my opinion. So we're actually working on that list. So we actually have highlighted a few, see there that I've kind of worked through that I've already done. So we are working through. I've actually been told, I've been telling people, just my preference is if you have a June, July, August order and you have the luxury package and Copilot 360 both, especially on the XLT, to leave it on there because you're going to get it built. I think it's people that are later that have those to take them off, and it's probably going to be at least through April before we're going to get to some of those September, October, November hybrid builds and those December or January EcoBoost builds before we're going to worry about those. But we're working our way through those early June, July orders because we do have some people that have the XLT or they have the luxury package and the Copilot 360, but they also have like a bed cover or they have the protection film, the hood and fender film, that we're trying to get them to take those off of their orders so they can make sure we get them scheduled. So then we'll start focusing on those others. And something that I kind of pointed out, I talked about last week, but I pointed out in my memo video, but it didn't click for me, and it clicked when I was recording the video. If you look at what they tell you to take off, and we've had several dealers that have been telling customers, hey, you have the first edition package, you need to take off your luxury package and your Copilot. No, you don't. You have a first edition. It will get built for 22. Do not take anything off. And the other thing that you'll notice on the first 5 items on the list, and these are by order, and so Ford has it by order. See that there's a combination, priority, you should say, at the top. And the first 5 are accessories: spray and bed liner without the luxury package, your bed covers, the cargo management package, your bed extenders, bed mat. Those are all on there first. And then number 6 is a co-pilot without the luxury package. So if you have a co-pilot and you don't have a luxury package, they say to remove the co-pilot package. And then if you have an XLT luxury package without the co-pilot 360, to remove the luxury package. And then if you have a co-pilot 360 without the Lariat luxury package, remove the 360. And then it goes to the Lariat luxury package. If you have a Lariat luxury package requires a co-pilot 360, you can either remove the luxury package and leave the co-pilot on, or but keep the co-pilot, or take off the luxury package and the co-pilot 360. But one of the things you don't notice, they did not mention in any of those 10 items, is if you have an XLT with the luxury and with the co-pilot 360, it doesn't mention taking that off. So I've been recommending to people that have the XLT with the luxury package and the co-pilot 360 to leave those on their builds, because it looks like that's not the priority. The priority is when they have one or the other on their build, asking them to remove that other item. So just keep that in mind. It looks like to me they're giving priority to the XLT trim with the luxury package and the co-pilot 360, of getting those versus people that have just a co-pilot or a luxury. More than likely, you're better off. And some people even ask me, say, well, since they're going to do that, can I just add a co-pilot to my luxury package? No, you can't. They've closed out of the co-pilot 360 and the luxury package, so you cannot add one or the other on. If you have one to help your odds out, you're better off just taking off the one unless you want. Now, a lot of people are saying your vehicle will get produced. It will get scheduled eventually. It may end up being a 23, but they will make it the specifications that you have. It just may keep getting pushed back because of what they know they can produce and get those through. So just keep that in mind as well when you're thinking about that. But we will be working through our customers on what they have on those. We are prioritizing the people from June, July, August 1st. We still have through August, we still have about 80, 90 orders here that need to be hopefully. Through August, we have about 80 to 90. I think it looks like about 90. I think there's 46 on the page on these sheets. So we're talking about 80, 92. So we have close to 100 orders probably that still need to get schedule dates from June, July, August. So I'm prioritizing those first, and then I'll start working through, and we'll start working through September and such on that. But if you do have an order with us, and from the videos you've watched that you want to take something off, give us a call and we can make those changes for you. We're just in a way of us calling out to our customers. We're going through based on time date first to get through those. Do you by chance think that a full-size spare tire would restrain a Maverick order? There's a shortage in tires, I have heard. That has not been on their constraint list yet, so I don't think that's an issue. Some of the tire shortages that we see are probably the better tires, not your spare tires. So your spare tires typically aren't the most expensive, and tires that they have on there is just to get you by. So more than likely, they're not having shortage on those tires. My sales rep thinks we can hold my order for the EcoBoost Lariat and change it to a 23 hybrid without losing my priority. Is this correct? Is this a correct statement? Well, you can't make any changes to an order until they switch over to 23. So to know that for sure, you really don't know. But if your order doesn't get produced for 22 and it gets pushed to 23, at that point you should be able to update your order. So let's say you got you put an order in and you couldn't order a hybrid at the time, so you ordered an EcoBoost, let's say in December. If that doesn't get produced as a 22, it gets pushed to 23. You should be able to at that point go in and change any order to, you should be able to change it to a hybrid or whatever at that point in time if you wanted to. I do believe that you'll be able to do that. They won't restrict that because it's a new production year. So they'll allow those people, if they want to switch from EcoBoost over to hybrid, they should be able to do that once 23 opens up and their order gets put in there. Basically, they're able to just amend the order at that time, and everything should be open back up for constraints or anything like that. So if let's say they put an order in and they couldn't get the, an XLT luxury package with the spray and bed liner, new model year, they might open that up to allow that. Hopefully they just, for 23, they take it off completely. But they may make some changes like that. So when that order guide, it's still quite a ways away yet, but when we get the new order guides out for 23, we'll have a better, we'll be able to tell a little bit better of what we can amend our orders to, the ones that get pushed from 22 to 23. So, Charlene, thanks for becoming a member of the Law McArthur crew. Appreciate it. I got an order for XLT, for a hybrid XLT Lux 360. If the April orders opens, I will make a Lariat Luxury 360 hybrid. Not sure if I understand that quite, Jolly. Okay, I got an order for hybrid XLT Lux 360. If the April orders opens, I will make a Lariat Luxury 360 hybrid. Yeah, you won't want to amend yours from an XLT to Lariat. That will move your date back. That'll totally change that. So you don't want to do that. So yeah, and they're not going to open up the order. The orders are not going to be opened up. The orders are closed until August. They are not going to take any more orders for the Maverick. And if you can amend your order, I think what you're maybe saying is that if yours doesn't get an April production date, you're going to change your order to a Lariat. That will move it back to the last date, which is fine, if just so you know that. So it would move it back, so you're basically to the back of the line if you want to do that. But I would recommend you don't, because I think that if you think that you're going to get pushed to 23, I'd wait until you get pushed to 23, then make the changes. Because I think if you make it, we don't really know yet how that's going to work, but I really believe that once they push everything to 23 and they open it back up, for us to amend those orders for 23, that if you want to switch from Eco to hybrid, or the trim from XLT to Lariat, there won't be a penalized by moving your order number down. I think you're going to be able to lock that in. But right now, if you were to change a trim, it does affect that original order date. So you're better off waiting until yours doesn't get produced before trying to make any changes like that. We're still offering the Fits accessory kit for people who have placed hybrid orders before the order close date on November 15th. I know that when the email went out October 21st, that email went out to all hybrid people at that time. So I think I don't know about the people that put in a hybrid order after October 21st, if they'll receive the Fit system. I do know that people prior to that should still be getting those. So they're supposed to go out to every customer that ordered prior to that email going out. So anybody after that, I'm not sure. So I don't know if it's going to go out to all hybrid people that ordered or after that date or not, but I do know the email went out October 21st, because that was the day that was released about the miles per gallon, and when that they were going to be scheduling those and sending those out real soon, and to reward them, they're going to do the Fit system. So that all went out the same day. So October 21st is that date. So anybody that ordered a hybrid after that, I wouldn't guarantee they're going to get a Fit system. People before that should get one. Hopefully that answered that question. How do I join the members only club? Yes, down in the description. So in the description of the video, go down there. There's a link to join. I leave that link in all my videos, so you can check that link out. Click on that, and it should take you. Basically, what that link is going to do is it's going to take you to a page, and then if you should see a join up there on that page, and that can help you out there. Also, if you're watching this video, well, here, let me show you. I'm going to click right into the video. So if you're doing it on a mobile phone, So if you're doing this on a mobile phone, you want to do the membership. So right there. So if you click on the little arrow over here, there's a little down arrow. Click on that down arrow and it opens up for the description. Right? And then down in the description, there should be something in there about membership, kind of towards the top. Right? Wait a minute. Did I take it out? I did take it out. Okay, I'll have to make sure I put it in there. So I took it out of the stream. I did. I took it out. Okay, so another place you can go is actually, this doesn't show I'm subscribed, but if you click on the subscribe button there, oh, I have to log in. Anyway, should be right there by the subscribe button as well, right below there. This is where you should see that. Anyway, so if you have any more, hopefully you find that, you can get to that. So trying to log into mine. There we go. So try this again. All right. So yeah, there you go. So right down here, shut off my volume. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm spending a lot of time on this. I'm sorry about that. But if you go down there where it says subscribe, wow, you can't even see that. See right there where it says McArthur and it says subscribe. See that C perks right there will say join instead. So it'll be right down below where your subscribe section is if you're watching this on a mobile phone. So it'll be right there. So anyway, I've had several people ask me about that, so I want to highlight that. But hopefully that helps out. But I did not see the link. I'm going to have to put that link back in there on my videos. All right. So anything else? Yeah. So Mark Vols 44, he had put in there. He's seeing where it says see perks, but if you're not a member yet, it'll say join. So you want to click on that join button there and find that. So anyway, well, I do thank all of you guys for joining me for this live stream, and I will tell you this. Because I've been sick the last 24 hours. So I'll tell you right now, that's probably not my best in a way of answering questions and getting tongue-tied and everything this week. So I apologize to you guys that have watched this because I know that my brain's not completely there, not thinking clearly today, because I actually tried to just rest this morning and then do a couple things this afternoon from home, and then I didn't get in here until about 2 hours before the live stream, and so I do want to apologize, but I did want to be on here and answer these questions. I thought there's some good topics here, so again, thanks for watching, and I appreciate you guys for joining me tonight, asking me questions. I know there's something else going on right now, and that some of you may wanted to go over and watch. So, but I appreciate you joining me tonight and indulging me in answering your questions. And hopefully, I did. You guys learned something tonight and can take from that. Again, we're going to be answering questions on Facebook Thursday night. If you want to join us there, link is in the description. I know that link's in there for that one. That link is down there. And again, thank you guys for joining me. If you're not subscribed, hit the red subscribe button down below. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. That way you can get notified when we do go live and when we have other videos get uploaded to our YouTube channel. And also don't forget if you want to, membership is down there. We kind of talked about that earlier. And so I do don't forget, smash that like button. That's what I was thinking of. Smash that like button. And then we'll see you guys next week with another video for episode 30 next week. So I'm really looking forward to that. So again, thanks everybody for joining me tonight, and have a great night and a great week. And hopefully you get your vehicles get scheduled and get produced, and some of you take delivery of your Mavericks this week. Thanks. See you guys later.